Hello and welcome everyone. This is your 2024 yearly forecast video, and we're just going to go through some of the main 2024 transits that are significant for all of us collectively, but also individually. And this end of the year has been very intense, very busy, very it was electrified. It was like it was very packed up with all kinds of things, very multi-layered, multidimensional, and also there was a big charge and discharge of the past and the future. So this is like an initiation into the future, but the future of the collective, future of the humanity, because of this big transit that is happening with Pluto changing signs after 15 years. And this has already been a theme of 2023, because we have seen Pluto changing signs in 2023 between March and June. Pluto was in Aquarius, and we saw this short sneak preview, this movie trailer of Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto will be in Aquarius for 20 years. So it's a big process, big cycle, big change. So we'll talk about this too. And this year also starts quickly, this 2024, because we have direct shift of energies. Mercury stationing direct on the 2nd of January. Jupiter finished its retrograde cycle on the last day of 2023, on the 31st of December. So it's also direct now. Jupiter direct, Mercury direct, and Uranus stationing direct on the 27th of January. So things will speed up. It won't be as slow beginning of the year as it was last couple of years. So things will pick up, and it will be like we are being catapulted into something new. Especially because this transit of Pluto is happening in January as well. January is a big month. It's really like a mini imprint of the next couple of years. So we'll see a lot of challenges and changes. 2024 is a very significant year for many years that are coming, and we'll see a lot of personal challenges, and we will be facing our own discomforts. Many things that we thought are settled, are in the past, are gone, are covered up, are forgotten about, will come up, they will bubble up again. And this January starts, as I said, quickly, so we'll have a lot of work to do, a lot of self-work to do too. We'll have things to communicate, to talk about, to resolve, to make. We will have a lot of decisions that need to be made, big decisions, significant decisions, or at least we're going to see what kind of decisions we will have to make in the next couple of months, or throughout this 2024. And first thing that we see in January is this Pluto's transit in Aquarius. So Pluto in Aquarius, it's happening on the 21st of January, and Pluto and the Sun travel together. They will move together in the sign of Aquarius, Sun and Pluto, and these are anaretic degrees. So Pluto is changing from 29th degree of Capricorn into the 0 degree of Aquarius. So anyone who has any planets or ascendant or descendant or important significant positions around the 0 degree of fixed signs of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus or Scorpio will feel this much stronger. There will be a lot to experience, a lot to feel. So this will be a very big transition, very big transformation deep and profound transformation. Pluto in Aquarius, change of society as we know it, change of connections, change of social interactions, change of humanity, change of the collective, change of how we behave, of how we communicate, of how we reach out to others, of how we interact with people and the world, of course big transformations in science, and it will be in technology, very futuristic, and of course this will be next 20 years, and it will be very, very interesting to observe how this will unfold. We may see, fall of some big technology corporations perhaps, and the rise of those technologies that really serve humanity. At least I hope it will be like that. So we will see. It depends on us, on how we perceive and how we use technology, how we connect with each other, how we behave as human beings, on which level we are as human beings. And AI, artificial intelligence will really, we will really see how it works and what it brings, what it takes. There will be, technological revolution, and it will change our lives for sure. It will change how we experience life and what we know about ourselves. These are, themes of extraterrestrials and UFOs as well. This year will show us, it will give us like that small preview image of what it will be in the next 20 years. Pluto will now reach the second degree of Aquarius, so it will travel a bit more than it traveled in 2023. So it will change signs in January, and it will be in Aquarius until September. And then it will again retrograde back into Capricorn for one last time. It will be the last visit of Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn since 2008, it brought a lot of disruptions and destructions of, and exposure of corruption of the system, of the governments, of, authorities. And of course this will continue to happen, the demolition of the old world. And now we are moving from the past into the future, Capricorn into Aquarius. And we will see how things will unfold for us. Not sudden. It's not that suddenly humanity will change. It will, take some time. It takes time for this to happen. And Pluto is a slow-moving planet, and Pluto is the lord of the underworld, the Hades. It takes away everything from us that is not serving our rebirth. So first we will experience some kind of destruction, so that the new birth can happen, so that rebirth can happen, because Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, of alchemy and transmutation and metamorphosis. It's a planet of destruction and decay, and so something needs to be destroyed. Something first needs to die so that something new can be born, and this will change people's behavior for sure. We will see rebellious behavior probably. Aquarius is a sign of rebelliousness, and Pluto there will bring a lot of changes and deep transformations, exposure of the shadow of the humanity. So we will see the exposure of shadows in how we, in technology and in humanity and in us as people, as a collective. People who think outside of the box, they will be, the target too. We will see big changes of society, and, powerful outsiders. Outsiders will become powerful. People who think outside of the box will become powerful. Pluto is the power. So this is the power of the people, the power of masses, the power of the collective, but also the power of individualized human being of Aquarius is air, it's intelligence. So it's very important to be authentic and unique, to speak your own truth, to be who you are. And this will bring a big revolution. This is the revolutionary phase of our life, very big transformation of us as a collective, of us as living in this world and connecting with each other. We will also see transformation of social media, of internet, of online work, of all these things that are related to technology and connections, to social networks as well. Big changes, maybe downfalls and destructions and rebirths, something that new way of connecting. But there we will see also big challenges in connecting person in person with people. This is where we should be going. Of course, we can use technology to some level in a constructive way, but if it controls us, if it manipulates our reality, we will experience, of course, that shadow side, and we will see both the light and the shadow side of this Pluto in Aquarius, of course. And for all of us it will be different, but collectively we will all experience these big changes of use of technology and connections between people, and the power of people, the revolutions, the rebels, the outsiders, those who are marginalized. And these people will probably be in a position of power now. And also this Pluto now is coming to the same degree where we had Jupiter and Saturn conjunction in Aquarius in 2020. This was the great conjunction. I don't know, probably some of you do remember that we had Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in 2020. And now that happened at 0 degrees of Aquarius, and now Pluto is coming to that same degree. So something that we thought is over around that time, something that happened, something we maybe initiated, something we worked hard for, something we wanted to expand and really put an effort into, will now come into our life again, and it will be destroyed maybe, or it will be rebirthed, or both. So we will see some kind of permanent change of that process that have been happening. So it will deconstruct that intention that Jupiter and Saturn brought in Aquarius in 2020. Pluto is very powerful. It's much more powerful than Jupiter and Saturn in these transits. So we will see big transformation and evolution. And Pluto wants to dig in, to see the raw truth. It's very intense, and it asks no questions. It doesn't ask us if we want this change or not, so it will just bring that change. And it leads us into this new birth. But first, some things need to be destroyed. So Pluto's intention is transformation for evolution of our soul's path. So we will see something that is not visible, that has been hidden, that has been avoided perhaps. It will be revealed. So Pluto will reveal those darker shadow intentions that have been planned or thought about, that have been perhaps done in 2020. And especially in the collective, things that have been coming to light and then shut down or just moved or just ignored, it will come again to be really exposed. And you can't get away with something when Pluto comes into play. We can't get away, we can't hide, we can't lie. So lies and secrets will be exposed, and things we didn't want to deal with, things we pushed away, and of course it can be a lot to process, and Pluto in Aquarius can bring too much information, too much data. Our human brain cannot process so many information and data that there is in the world, and we will see now expansion of those things, expansion, because we will also see Jupiter trine Pluto happening this year. And this expansion of information will be interesting, because Jupiter will be in Gemini when this happens. Jupiter will enter Gemini in May. It will move out from Taurus into Gemini, so we will see big expansion of information, of data, of things that we need to process, things we need to learn, things we need to transfer. So it will be a lot to take in and to process. And this is why we may have that need collectively to somehow just to detach from trusting authorities so much, so that we can process our own information and data of who we are into ourselves, of being human being. This is Pluto in Aquarius. It pushes us into really looking and observing who we are and how we behave as human beings, what are what are our true qualities, and where is our shadow, what is that shadow that we see projected in the collective. And this shadow of the collective will tell us a lot about ourselves, so we will have a lot of work to do, a lot of inner work to do as well. And Pluto will turn it all over, it will burn things to the ground. If we are doing something that is against our soul's evolution, that is against the evolution of humanity, it will burn things to the ground. And big things are coming out in the collective for sure. And it will definitely demolish what we thought is solid and true, and it will bring up truth and what we're meant to see, and we are now able to process it. What was things that we thought are complete, are over, are done, that we are done with, will come up again. So we will have to face it. These things will be exposed. And of course we also have other big transits. This is just short energy update of what these big transits are. And of course, if you want to know what these things mean for you personally, for your sign, for your ascendant, for your moon sign, you can find our big 2024 yearly horoscopes on our Moon Omens website. And these are really in-depth horoscopes full of all kinds of possible scenarios that these transits will bring for you, and where they are happening in your personal chart, and how you can deal with it, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, when is time for making decisions, when is not the time for making decisions. There are some practical tools as well, some rituals in horoscopes, very, very practical and efficient ones. So if you want to really work through this and see how this can help you rise and transform in a very constructive and wanted way, not in unwanted way, because we usually face changes in unwanted way, in way that we don't want them to happen. So I highly recommend going through these yearly horoscopes, and there are many dates there, so you will need some time. You will need a notebook and the pen to go through it, to write down, to really work with these things and with yourselves. And we also have interesting conjunction with Pluto, between Mars and Pluto, on the 14th of February. 14th of February and days around that date are also very intense and volatile. So I suggest we should be very careful during these times around the 14th of February, because Mars and Pluto together can, bring things, can bring explosions and accidents and incidents and injuries and conflicts and fights and battles and, all these kinds of things that are very intense, manipulations, emotional catharsis, manipulations, need to prove our point, need to dominate, need to just manipulate, need to be in the power, in the place of power, power struggles, big power struggles, So let's be careful during these times, and it's for making decisions, it may not be really best time for making decisions, but some decisions may be made for us, because Pluto is represents things that are out of our control. So we may be faced with some things that are outside of our control, that we don't know how to deal with, that we just don't know how to handle and how to manage. So it's really good to just be very aware of our behavior, of our decisions, of our intentions, of words that we choose, of things that we project, of things that we allow, of our boundaries. Just be aware, be present, and observe what is happening around you with people you know, because these energies can help us really understand how these patterns and cycles work for us. So this Mars conjunct Pluto can really bring some things on a global level. We may see big conflicts, big changes also of these themes that are Aquarian themes, big changes of the collective, of humanity, of technology, of us as society, of social reforms. These are big social reforms. So we may see some of those things right away in February. And I just wanted you to know, to warn you about these things in our relationships with others, just to be careful during these times. We also have eclipses happening in Aries and Libra. So we changed from Taurus, Scorpio into Aries and Libra this year. We have North Node in Aries and South Node in Libra, and we'll have big eclipses happening in March and April, and then again in September and October. March 25th we have lunar eclipse in Libra, and it's very significant. We will see big changes in partnerships, in relationships, in also between countries, and in lawsuits, because Libra is about laws and fairness and justice. So we will see some things coming up to the surface on the collective level and in our individual lives. And we also have a big eclipse. Actually, it may be the most important one on 8th of April, total solar eclipse in Aries. So it will be very powerful, very explosive. It's huge energy of coming back to who we are, of trusting ourselves, of standing up for ourselves, of healing our identity wound, because there will be Chiron in Aries also in conjunction with it. And we may have to let go of people pleasing, let go of that South Node in Libra, let go of certain relationship perhaps, and come back to who we are. This is healing of past relationships, healing of our wounds of identity, helping someone heal in their issues with their relationships. Knowing and owning our wound and helping others go through it. Past relationships are teaching us. Past relationships helping us to help others, and healing of these relationship wounds will be a very big theme in April, and April is also a big month. Understanding wounds of the past, understanding wounds of the history of humanity, understanding wounds of wars and injustices and all things that have been happening in the past. And we will also see some big karmic events, karmic connections, karmic disconnections, karmic relationships, marriages and divorces. These will be expanded. We have an opportunity for deeper understanding of humanity. And April we also have Mars conjunct Saturn in Pisces. This is also a big aspect. This is happening on 10th of April. So on the 8th of April we have this eclipse in Aries, big one, total eclipse, total solar eclipse in Aries in conjunction with Chiron. Then on 10th of April, just 2 days later, we are in eclipse season. We have the ruler of that eclipse in Aries, Mars, in conjunction with Saturn in Pisces. And this is initiation into the next 2 years, because Mars conjunct Saturn is happening every 2 years, and it triggers big collective events in the world. And it brings some challenges, it brings difficulties, and it can bring a theme of loss of identity, because Mars is the ruler of Aries, of identity, of the self, and Saturn is separation. Saturn is limitation, restriction, and in Pisces is dissolution of ego. It's the dissolvement, it's the loss of who we are. So we may face some loss of identity, and we will see, things are changing, our landscape is changing, but it will help us to take some new action for new responsibility, for really being serious, for dealing with our addictions, with our escapisms, with our disillusionment, with our illusions, because Pisces is all of those things. So this is... this could be related with troubles related to sea and ocean, because Pisces relates to big ocean and the sea. So collectively, on a global level, we may see next 2 years troubles related to ocean pollutions and sea and troubles at sea. All these Piscean themes, Neptune themes, and also our immunity, our institutions. Immunity system, migrations and refugees, and all these themes will be very challenging for our whole collective, but we will take action for making new structures, for reconstructing those things, to reconstruct those things, and to reconstruct our spiritual journey as well. Saturn in Pisces, it's very much about our spirituality and being serious about it, doing the hard work, taking effort, putting effort into our spiritual journey, into understanding, the deeper understanding of our subconscious fears, of our anxieties, of our panic attacks, of our paranoid thoughts, of our irrational fears, of our ancestors and karmic patterns, because these are, Saturn in Pisces is in Pisces throughout whole year. And Neptune is also there, but we'll come to that too. Neptune and Saturn are getting closer to each other. They are both in Pisces, then they are getting closer to each other, and Neptune is reaching the end degrees of Pisces, where it's been since 2012. So it's been there for a very long time, and it's preparing now to shift, to enter Aries in 2026. And this April month is very intense. So as we see, we have these eclipse season, Mars conjunction Saturn, and one very big transit and aspect happening is Jupiter conjunct Uranus. Jupiter is going to make conjunction with Uranus. Conjunction means that they are together. They are literally in marriage. They are in union. And Jupiter and Uranus conjunction happens every 14 years. And in Taurus, it happens every, I don't know, but it's very rare to happen, in Taurus. And it's very electric energy, and it's up-leveling, and we are moving from something limited into something expansive. And it's happening on the 20th, 21st of April. So big things are opening up for us, big awakening, big shocks, big surprises that are going to happen around money and finances and economy and agriculture and food and all these physical manifestations, material security, the the way we use money, the way we save money, the way we spend money, the way we earn money, the way we share money, our banking system, the way we produce food, the way we use our resources, our survival methods and instincts, our comfort, desire for comfort. These things will be disturbed, and it can be dramatic, but it can also be too much optimism. It can be something that is too good to be true, perhaps, or it can be a disturbance of something that we are used to, something that, you know, we know very well, and suddenly it becomes different. For example, the path we know very well, that we walk through every day, suddenly becomes unable, or suddenly is gone. So we may see, you know, things that are waking us up. It's like a big awakening thing happening, sudden shifts, sudden big shifts, like we are seeing some dimensions that we were not able to see before. It's unpredictable, and we may see also flashes of insights, big, perhaps earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, these things that disturb the polarization of planet Earth as well, because Taurus is planet Earth, is something solid and grounded and you know, concrete. So it's our planet Earth, it's our senses as well. So we may see disturbance of that, changes, shake-ups, you know, changes of currency, of properties, of assets, instability of reality as we see it, instability of planet Earth, new discoveries as well, innovations, scientific breakthroughs related to our land, our food, agriculture, music also, organic things, plant-based, healthy lifestyles, you know, coming back to nature, revolution of the lands and the use of resources. So we may see the good sides and the bad sides as well, because Uranus is unpredictable and Jupiter is the big benefic. So it should be, of course, it will be something that will bring a positive revolution in the end, but how we will first react to it may bring us shocks and surprises. And the last time Jupiter-Uranus conjunction happened in Taurus was actually in 1858, and this is when Darwin evolution theory was exposed. So we may also see some changes and revolutionary scientific discoveries related to our bodies, to our DNA, to our origin, to us human beings as species. So it will be, you know, some kind of cultural advancement related to genetics, perhaps, maybe even UFOs and extraterrestrial things. And, you know, we will see. We may not be sure if something is true or not as well. So things will be. It will be, you know, our groundedness will be disturbed to some level, and also you can all see in these 2024 horoscopes, yearly horoscopes, you can find where exactly this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction will happen for you, for each sign, for each ascendant. So you can have more deeper insight into how this will affect you personally, but this will definitely have these themes. These themes will be triggered, these themes will be very powerful, and Uranus is coming closer to 25th degree of Taurus. So this 25th, 26th degree of Taurus is where we have one fixed star called Algol. Algol is known as the head of Medusa, and it's known as you know, a star that is related in mythology to curses, and it's a bit destructive energy. It's a bit tricky energy, because this is the story of Medusa and Perseus, he was given a task to cut off her head because she turned into this monster. She was abducted, raped. These stories in mythologies are all similar, but then her head was cut off. But if she looked into your eyes, she would turn you into stone. So Perseus managed to cut off her head because he used a shield with the mirror. So he was looking where she is into that mirror. He didn't look her into her eyes directly, but she cursed him and she cursed whole male humanity. So when this Uranus reaches Algol, this will happen in the second half of 2024, and it will last for a big part of 2025. So this will bring interesting changes, shocking revelations and awakenings. Also, again, themes of earthquakes, volcanoes, and hurricanes, and these disruptions of and changes of the planet as we know it, of the food, agriculture, economy, money, finances, currencies. These things will be deeply disturbed, and we will see big shifts, big awakenings happening on the collective level. And this will be, of course, it's a process. It won't all happen in one day. This is just a big theme that will happen in waves, in different stages. And so also check out if you have any planets in your natal chart around these degrees, 25th, 26th degree of Taurus. This is where Algol is, and it brings issues, it brings problems, it brings disruptions, it brings anger, frustration, irritation, curses that need to be overcome, overgrown, acknowledged, brought to light, transformed, alchemized, transmuted, transcended. So we will have this opportunity to really walk through that path, to expose those dark places, to expose those shadows of the collective, of the humanity and of ourselves, of what we project in the world, what we project in the collective, what we see that we don't like in the world, and how that reflects in our life, how that reflects in our personal relationships. These are things that we don't usually think about. We think that those things are outside of our personal life, and they don't have such strong effect on our personal life, but really these things have a very deep and profound effect on our personal life, even on our dreams, what we dream of, what we think of, how we react. These are all things that affect us, affect our family, our friendships, our marriages, our relationship with children, with everything, with life, our relationship with death, with dying, with loss, with transformation, and with things that we can't process, that are too much for us, that we just cannot accept. So we will be faced with some things that we cannot accept, but we will have to see them. We will have to face them now, because this is the only way that the truth can be revealed. And this is a time when truth really can be revealed. And we will see in May, Jupiter will change signs. So Jupiter enters Gemini on the 25th, 26th of May. And this is really positive and good for all mutable signs. And also for air signs, even though with mutable signs there will be square and opposition, but this will again bring opportunities and possibilities to expand things, to learn things in a new way, to really expand our mental abilities and capacities, to expand our knowledge. Jupiter in Gemini changes signs. So after being in Taurus, where it's been a bit slow, grounded, just wanting to seek for pleasures, to change things in earthly level. Now it changes signs and enters Gemini. Gemini, curiosity, talkative, chatty, very active, very communicative, cheerful energy, a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of news and messages, changes in social expansion of social media, expansion of news and messages, and especially because this Pluto in Aquarius will be making trine with this Jupiter, we may see, those AI generated news and messages, so we will have a lot to deal with. We may not be sure of what is real, what is not, what is true, what is lie, and we will have to search for that truth on our own, to really tune into our intuition with this Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, to trust our intuition so that we can use this Jupiter in Gemini in the most constructive way. But we will definitely see expansion of information, so it will be a lot to process, a lot to take in, many news, many information, many messages to deal with, a lot of facts coming up, not knowing who to trust, not knowing who to follow, not knowing who is talking truth. There will be a lot of good things too. Of course, Jupiter is benefic, so it will bring some truth for sure. Jupiter represents wisdom and wisdom keepers, and Gemini is the sign of communication. So we will have a lot of wisdom talks as well. People who come up, who speak up, who will tell the truth. But it will be from the other side. Because of this expansion of people who speak the truth, there are going to be others who will come and just mix it with lies, because then people won't know who to trust and who is real and who is not. So it will be interesting year with Jupiter in Gemini in trine with this Pluto in Aquarius. So these are going to be those wanted and needed transformations of how we learn, how we speak, how we communicate, how we share things, what kind of news and information we share with others, what is valuable information, what is worthy information. And these AI generated news and social media and information will be also very much expanded, and some interesting applications may also come up in the future, like being able to talk different languages without knowing them, without learning them, just implementation of these futuristic things into our communication and into how we connect as human beings. And it's really exciting time to be alive now. And this year and the next year are very, very significant, because in 2026 we will have major shifts of all slower outer moving planets. These are going to be huge shifts, and world as we know it is definitely changing. So we will see some of the main shifts in humanity in the next 2 years. We are preparing for those big shifts, and we have this Saturn and Neptune in Pisces this whole year. So Saturn represents limits, while Neptune represents transcendence and dreams and boundlessness. So we have like two opposites connecting and meeting together. They will be closest on the 29th of June, and they will meet again at the very first degrees of Aries next year. But now they are just coming closer together, and then they will separate again, but they will come closest to each other on the 29th of June. And this is when the tangible meets the intangible. This is when limitations meet unlimited possibilities. These are infinite. This is infinite potential. Like, this is when dreams can become reality. This is when we can manifest our dreams, because Saturn is manifestation, it's reality, while Neptune is dreams and visions. And these are, also mystical thoughts, and being able to bring those dreams into real world, to bring those transcended thoughts into reality, and to deal with our mental health issues also. Pisces and Neptune and Saturn together in Pisces, mental issues, mental health, addictions, escapisms, things we cannot deal with, our subconscious fears, our ancestral karmic patterns, skepticism, illusions, dealing with illusions, breaking through illusions, frustrations, not knowing what is real, and being able to really see through those boundaries and borders between people, between countries, between different religious views, different beliefs, different nationalities, different traditions, different languages, really being able to see through all of that and to bridge those boundaries, to have that vision of unity, because Pisces eventually is unconditional love and unity and oneness. But Saturn is there, and Saturn is the theme of separation, and Pluto in Aquarius can also intensify that separation again, but separation needs to happen before the reunion can happen. So this is the deconstruction before the rebirth of humanity as we know it, and of the mental health of humanity, mental health of the collective level, on the collective level, and how we deal with this mental health, and this can bring destabilization, but it will shake us up, but it will also bring new energy. It can be a breaking point of illusions, but it may feel like we are ending something big, like an end of an era. There is some old world there that we cannot return to, that we cannot come back to. It's future. We need to focus on the future, and it may feel like opening of portals. And also we have the first eclipse in Pisces this year happening also on the 17th of September. So we have Pisces eclipse that hasn't happened since 2017. So we will have more of these themes of separation, illusion, confusion, mental health, addictions, subconscious fears, dealing with paranoid thoughts, dealing with paranoia, dealing with anxiety, dealing with the unknown, dealing with loss, dealing with things that are outside of our rational capacity of understanding. These are, big themes of meditation, healing, contemplation, being instead of doing, creativity, artistic way of thinking, artistic way of communicating. Things may seem they change too fast, too quickly. This whole year is very radical and rapid, and we are releasing so many things, but so many new things are coming up, and it will be recreation of many things, recreation of us as collective, recreation of humanity, recreation of connections, recreation of communication, recreation of human connection, recreation of society, of families, of groups of people, of communities. Big focus on our defense mechanisms as well. So we are going to experience, we are going to see that we are losing and finding our strength, our courage, our sense of self. We are losing it and finding it throughout this whole year. We are going to experience these ups and downs of losing our identity and finding our identity, experiencing death of who we are and rebirth of who we are, and this will be happening many times, and our collective will tell a story of who we are if we are brave enough to see it, to face it, and to accept it. We are ready to build some golden new bridges, and to just jump into the new energy without preparation, without really analyzing it, just moving directly there, just doing it, and of course being rooted in being, and by being we are just doing it. And these big changes of values are also exposed now and brought to light. Big changes of how we value ourselves, how we value our relationships, what are true values, true priorities, what truly matters, what are my true priorities, and am I living according to my priorities? And if I'm not living according to my priorities, we will definitely see big changes and disruptions of those areas of our lives. And we will have a strong sense of, I can do this, I can manage this, I can just use my imagination, I can imagine, I can visualize, I can meditate and make it happen. This is Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is like concrete, real work, and Pisces is meditation, prayer, healing, all these things that are unknown, unseen, subtle. So big changes of people's belief system, big changes of religious beliefs, big changes in governments and corporations. When Pluto re-enters Capricorn in September, it will be here for one last time between September and November. So until the 19th of November, between September and 19th of November, we will see some final big dissolutions and deconstructions and destructions of processes that have been happening since 2008 with governments, corporations, and the system, the old world. Big changes there, big changes with authorities and who we trust as authority, who is our authority, what are authorities telling us. So we will see some big change there. And then on the 19th of November, Pluto finally settles in Aquarius, where it will stay until 2044. It sounds like far away, but this is the beginning of that journey. This is the beginning of that big process of big changes in the next 20 years that we are going to experience as humanity. So there's a lot going on this year. Of course, this is just a very, very quick journey through all these main transits. Of course, there are more, but we just cannot. If we now start talking about each, this video would last like a couple of days probably, and we are definitely pushed into new directions, and we won't have time for excuses. It's explosive and unpredictable energy. We will experience a lot of shocks and surprises and revelations that are probably, definitely for the better, but first we will experience it as something uncomfortable. And global markets, banking sectors, investments, economy, money, currencies, as I said, these things will experience big changes, and we will see what we really need, what really stabilizes us, what really grounds us, what is truly essential, and what is the value of that spiritual element in our life, what is true value of it, what really matters. And we are going to really see that efforts pay off sooner or later. All efforts pay off. All work pays off sooner or later. And big things will pay off for us this year. We will see things that we didn't expect to happen. Things we couldn't see coming will be manifested. They will be brought to light. Some dreams really are going to be manifested for many of us, and we will see the changes in the system, like people who are now in power may lose their power, and people who are complete outsiders and who are marginalized will come in the place of power. So these switches of places will be happening as well. And just we are going to experience the destruction and rebirth of society and of us as a part of that society, of us being human beings. And we are going to understand the cycles and patterns. We have opportunity to truly understand these things. We don't have excuses. Like, knowledge will be there. We are able to use it. And how we use it, it's up to us. This Jupiter in Gemini will also expose and bring knowledge, and Pluto in Aquarius together in this trine with Jupiter. There will be a exposure of the history, exposure of hidden knowledge, exposure of things that we didn't know, and now it's there. We can just pick it up and learn it. We can learn those things that we were not able to learn before, to know before. And let's just keep making choices that are right for us and that are not hurting anyone around us. And that's that's all there is. Let's just take responsibility of our choices and our intentions. And whatever is, uncomfortable and unpredictable will be much easier to be dealt with. And we will be able to see a very not only positive side of it, but just the side of it that just needs to happen. It's a necessity. It's for the evolution of this whole planet that we are here on of our home. This is our big home. The planet Earth is our big home. We are all living under the same roof in the sky. We are all living in the same home on the planet Earth, and we are all in conflict. We are all in some kind of power manipulation and dynamics in our relationships. So this year really gives us a chance to see it under the microscope, to see how we are living in this home. Are we making peace or are we making war? And how can I contribute to making it better? How can I do something that will create at least one little change that will inspire somebody else next to me to do the same? So let's just all give our best to do so, to develop our gifts, to understand more of our individual authenticity and uniqueness, and by doing that, really experiencing the power of the collective. Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto the power, Aquarius the collective, power of the collective. And not being afraid of changes, not being afraid of things that are coming to light, and not being afraid of seeing things that we thought are complete and buried and done coming back, just being strong in who we are, trusting ourselves, North Node in Aries, Chiron in Aries, healing ourselves, healing the sense of self. And okay, with this I would end this forecast. I think it's enough. It's more than enough information to digest and process, to think about, to contemplate, and to really work with. And I also again invite you and recommend you to go to our Moon Omens website and check out your yearly horoscopes. For those of you who are wondering what is the most important of the three, of sun sign, ascendant and moon sign, I recommend the ascendant. But if you want to see the full picture of everything, of all possibilities, and to create your own bigger picture of it, I recommend all three: the sun sign, the moon sign and the ascendant, the Holy Trinity. And our three eyes, our two eyes and our third eye. So we need all three. But if you want just to know the main points, of course it's your ascendant sign, the most important. It's who you are, it's your personality, your identity, your physical body, your life direction. So I want to thank you all, to wish you all a very powerful, energetic, dynamic, adventurous, awakening new year. I want you to be present. I want us all to be present, to be conscious, to be fearless, to be courageous, to face anything that comes up, to face all obstacles, not to run away from them, but to see them as powerful lessons and helping tools that help us grow and evolve and outgrow things that pull us back into the past. Let's have a vision. Let's be focused on the best and highest expression of who we are. And I promise you that all things will be good if we can keep that spark and flame and willingness to just be on our right path and choose right decisions for ourselves and not be afraid of making mistakes along the way. I love you all and see you soon. Bye bye.